Okay, this is Cynthia Simmons right here. Jamie Jones. I myself, Henry Joseph Paquez. We're about to attempt to head into John Mark Young's office. Right here on, what street is this? Main Street. This is his office right here. We believe this is his van. We're going in here to attempt to make a settlement with this man, or we are going to try to revoke Brandy as a co-trustee and strike a document that was made out here. We want to terminate him as an attorney if he does not want to do this. Cynthia, do you want to terminate Mr. Young as an attorney off the trust?
Absolutely.
If he does not want to comply with what you say?
To what I say.
To what you say?
Yeah.
All right. And we are prepared right here. As you see, she has her files. She has her deeds. She has her power of attorney. She has her notes. We have everything ready. I'm going to have Jamie hold this phone while we do this stuff, while we go in this office. And she will be recording. I think it's recording, ain't it? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, she will be recording.
Now you see me, now what?
You need to strike those things that you done.
You want to come upstairs in the office and talk?
Yeah, we can. Want to?
Yeah. Okay, come on up.
Oh, yeah.
You just set that back over there. Is that other lady with you too?
Yeah.
Yeah, just set that on the floor.
I'll be back here. Here. This is good for me. I need to strike those things that you and Brandy done.
You what?
I need to strike and revoke those things that you and Brandy done.
Why are you signing? I mean, I wasn't trying to force you to sign them.
Yeah, you kind of did. She wouldn't let you read them. She didn't read everything.
Well, I could have read them if you wanted me to.
Did you not? Do you think any woman would get out of your office and walk 3 miles if she didn't like what she saw and what was going on? Come on.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm not taking up for Brandy. I've got some problems with her. So don't misunderstand me here.
You ain't the only one. I've made up a power of attorney. I'm going to have to take over this.
You know, I haven't even seen her since that day she walked away. Whenever that was, last Friday, a week ago. But you were saying you didn't understand it over the phone, and
Well, you made it sound like the trust was going to be opened up. I have no electric. I've not had electric in 2 weeks. I'm out there broke.
I mean, I'm not taking up for her by any means.
I'm not taking up for anybody. Period.
I mean, I've known you for a long time.
Yeah, and I should have been told about this trust when my parents died, and I was not. Y'all are running off of revoked trust, off Mother's trust. You're not even doing the original.
You know, but do you feel like you're able to handle business?
I'm gonna have to, ain't I? Because if I'm not, I'm gonna be left out there to die. Period. While everybody else is greasing their palms or whatever they're doing. I don't know what you all think you're doing.
She doesn't understand the bill, especially that he had been talking to Glenn Jett for and charging her for 6 months prior to the lawsuit that was filed. He was charging her for that, and then she got sued, and then still charging her for that. But a lot of the stuff, she wasn't present.
Well, no, she wasn't present. Brandy was down here
Yeah,
during
this
a lot of it, but I thought you and Brandy were working together.
Obviously not.
Or at least in the beginning there.
You know, you can see all on
She
your own.
bullied. She bullies like she bullies everybody else, and I'm
She
sick
made her
of
way
it.
into the trust by attaching all these documents, coming and attaching this and doing that, making memorandum of trust. This stuff's not in the trust. It isn't for her to start coming in there and attaching herself into the trust.
Well, I mean, she just signed something saying that she was going to allow Brandy to be
First of
trustee
all,
of the trust.
I
mean,
was told
I'm
by
not.
I was told by people I could not change my mother and father's trust. I couldn't do anything except what they wanted me to do with it. I had to make my own trust. And now Brandy's put her ass with your stamp all over it on a trust that is revoked.
Do you have a copy of that instrument that you signed? I've got a copy of it laying around here somewhere, but I see you got the
No,
special.
she'd like to strike it.
It might be in that.
She has a power of attorney right here. If you'd like to enter that on or record that.
Because I haven't seen her talk to Brandy since that thing was signed. But I was hoping when you call them,
And she had a meeting with the bank. What was that about? American Heritage Bank. There was a meeting on there too, remember?
I can tell you what she said. Now, I haven't talked to the banker. Well, yeah, I have.
Conference with Brandy and American Heritage Bank, $612.
You wasn't there for that conference?
What?
You wasn't there for that bank conference, Brandy?
Well,
Was...
if it's on my bill, I was, but
Well, yeah,
I
it's
got
on
more than
there.
one case with them.
Okay.
So I got to get mine locked
All right.
on to which
Well,
case we're talking about.
That one, you were there, I guess, because you
I think
charged me.
when I say I talked to her, I think I'm maybe talking about another case. Somebody wrote 3 large checks
On what?
written on American Heritage Bank, and then they didn't clear. And then I talked to the bank, and come to find out they wrote them on the wrong bank. But that's not you.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
getting you mixed up with.
Okay, all right.
I don't think I have talked to them about Brandy.
Okay. Well, apparently you was there at that meeting. 'Cause you
Well, if there's
charged
something
me.
there, I've had meetings with Glenn Jett.
Yeah,
I will tell you that.
So
yeah, and I'm sick of
and
him.
that's
put it on the bill.
to keep from getting sued, right? 6 months prior, you would figure that he wouldn't ever have to take the action to sue.
6 months what now?
Yeah, because 6 months prior to him filing the lawsuit, you were talking with him on here. On
That's exactly right.
7/23. So
He called up, and
she's.
I can't remember if I called him or he called me, but I talked to him on the phone, and I think he even came in here into the office.
Yeah,
But he was saying, if you believe his story, he has a written contract, and was that signed by you
Not by me.
or Brandy?
It was Brandy, but her name was misspelled on it.
Yeah, Brandy's been trying to take over this trust, trying to get herself a sole beneficiary, trying to squeeze her way in there and trying to do all this stuff. In here pressuring and doing everything with Glenn Jett, trying to sell and do all this stuff with the properties that she is not entitled to do.
Well, yeah, she wasn't until you signed a deal saying you're resigning as trustee, and then appointing her as
Yeah, she told me I was
That's the
not.
document that
She
was
told me
just
I was
signed?
going to be told everything. See, she lies. And I can't read. I only have one eye. So, I'm just tired of all this.
Well, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I've known you for a
Somebody
long
is.
time. I've known your parents before that.
Somebody
I
is.
want to try to help you. He was saying, well, if somebody's going to just let you die out there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I got dozens and dozens and dozens of clients. I don't go out to their house and check on them every day. I wait for them to come in down
No,
here.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying my dad set up a trust for me, for my children, and I don't know anything about it until 20 years after he's dead and 10 years after my mom dies. What the hell is that?
Well,
Huh.
why didn't he tell you about it?
I don't know, because
That's
he
something that
left
you
it
don't
with you
talk
all
about,
to tell
yeah.
me about
Well,
it.
okay.
Trust.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
full in front of me.
For
Well,
a
it is.
trust
Here's the
attorney,
file right
for the
here.
attorneys and everybody to come talk
You know,
to her.
I drew this up, but you were the successor trustee.
Your father drew it up, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, the original. And his father was
In 1987.
Yeah.
Well, here's, I mean, the type of it looks like our typewriter. But, yeah, my secretary notarized it. There's got your mother's signature on there and your dad.
Well,
And
I was
so
told
she-
he even paid extra. Y'all were supposed to take care of this. Tell me, I didn't know for the
Nobody's-
last time.
I
And
mean,
I'm
I
not an
thought-
idiot. He didn't tell me for a reason.
Because that's something that parents don't talk about with their kids. And she, every time they talk about her dad passing away, then she would have a fit. That wasn't something that they talked about in the family. You don't talk about what's going to be left or who, when dad dies. All that stuff is not talked about.
He thought
After the death is when the attorneys and stuff are supposed to step in and say, hey, look, this is what was left with you. This is what we have. This is what you got to get in order. This is who your bankers are. This is who your financiers are. This is how much land you have. This is what you've been left. This is how you need to order. This is what you need to manage. And this is what
Okay.
we got set up in place for you already. So nobody ever went over nothing with her.
See, I am very happy to talk with you about it in the office rather than yelling and screaming about it over the phone.
Right?
You know, I'll explain everything to you. You know, since you're sitting here talking about it, if you want to know. It's not a big secret. But I don't recall that you've ever come down here and talked to me about it since your parents died, and I don't remember when that was.
Oh, it's been 20 years.
I didn't even know, you know,
I didn't know he had all this land.
well, I mean, they don't call me up and say I'm going to die today, so a lot of times I don't even know that my clients died. But anyway, at some point I learned that they had passed away, and I'm not sure when that was, but
I passed away in 2008. Your mom, right?
9.
2009, her mom did, and her dad was
99.
99. And not one
you
time.
didn't know that they had some bank accounts?
I mean,
I had no idea they had all this land
They know
and
it's just not
everything.
something that they talked about because she had anxiety about it. Whenever her parents tried to talk about, her mom tried to talk about if her dad dies or something, then she'd have a fit. Back then, she would go crazy. I don't want to talk about it. So there was something that wasn't talked about.
Well, after they died, did you?
She didn't know nobody.
I don't ever remember you calling me wanting to.
No,
then there
because
would be
all these
all this-
trusters of all
So
this trust,
after they
nobody
died, then she's
contacted
the
me.
sole beneficiary, but nobody come and explain nothing to her. Nobody said, "Hey, look, your mother's died. Now this is passed on to you," which is one of your jobs to do, the attorney to come do after they passed away. Hey, look, we have this trust. You have this trust now. You know you're over this, and this is how it's
Okay.
managed and stuff. And this
Okay,
is,
don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I want to explain trust to you, just like you were a client that you're first walking into the door for the first time.
Mhm.
And so you'll understand what a trust is and how they're run, and you'll understand. I'm glad you're here to listen if you're helping take care of her.
Go
I
ahead.
don't know, who are you?
He's
this
Henry.
is my watch, Jamie.
Oh, okay. So you had to chaperone him around her.
Well, she has the wheels.
She was going to be here today. She'd be down
She's
here.
a
to chaperone
certified
me, too.
phlebotomist, and she's first response. She's first responder.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to explain to you what a trust is, how it works.
You can explain it to him because I've heard
Her
this
too.
speech 3 times. I've heard it 3 times. I done told you.
Yeah.
Well, I'll explain it
ahead.
to him. You
Come
know,
on.
Go ahead.
looking at
I'd
you
like to hear
because
it.
you're my
yeah,
client. but-
yeah. So you need to understand too.
Okay. You're a legal person, you're a legal person, you're a legal person. I'm not so sure about me.
Mm-hmm.
But a person can buy and sell own property.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. General Motors is a legal person. It can buy and sell and own property, but it's run by its shareholders for the board of directors for the benefit of its shareholders. A trust is a legal person that is created by the trustors, whoever's sitting down to sign it, and it's run by the trustees who are named in the instrument for the benefit of its beneficiaries named in the instrument. Then the trustors, who are usually the ones that come and talk to the lawyer, transfer their property to the trust, so that when they die, they didn't own any property and they avoid probate. It's a very good way to avoid probate, which costs us lawyers a lot of money, but
There's a way around it.
that's just. I mean, it's a cost-saving device for the clients. Plus, it's a way of managing the property when they get too old or unable to do so. So what this trust does and what they commonly do is the trustors, who are usually a husband and wife that want to avoid probate, execute a trust. They're the trustors of the trust because they created it. You know, I'm the lawyer that drew up all the papers, which is routine for me. And they name themselves as the trustee of the trust. They also name themselves as the beneficiaries of the trust. So they are, in effect, managing this property for the benefit of themselves, and nothing's changed until they die. And then when they die, they don't have to probate their estate. All that needs to happen is the beneficiary, the successor beneficiary, needs to come in and have themselves appointed, or whoever is named in the instrument, that is, whoever's named as the successor beneficiary needs to come in and type up a paper saying they passed away, now I'm the successor trustee. It's a one-page document. It's real easy to do. You need to have the death certificate of the people that died, but you record it in the land records because you've already transferred.
Has this been ever done with her?
No, well, I don't know. I'd have to look in the file, but I don't remember doing it.
So that would be the first thing that needed to be done.
Yes.
Get the death certificate.
And make this document, this one.
Yeah, but see, when you know the deeds are recorded at the land records. Okay, probably a deed was recorded at the land records for them, so that the properties, their properties in the name of the trust. Now, a lot of times people don't do that. Sometimes they don't follow up with me about giving me all their deeds, because I don't know what property they own until they give me a deed. But if they give me a deed, I'll type up a deed from themselves to the trust to avoid probate. Okay, but anyways, I have found down through the years a lot of times people don't do that, but they should.
And so people start paying taxes on the land.
Yeah, I mean, they keep paying taxes, but they're not knowledgeable enough about, is it the name on the tax bill a trust, or is it my name? They consider it to be their property, which it is, with this legal fiction, so to speak, of a trust. But anyway, when the trustee die, the successor trustee is supposed to file what we call a memorandum of trust, saying those trustees died, now I'm the successor trustee pursuant to the instrument.
Okay.
And record it wherever the legal description of the land is. It's very routine and it's very easy, but it's something that needs to be done. Okay. Another thing is the trust people, a lot of times, usually will transfer some or all of their bank accounts to the trust also. And it's the same thing. A bank account is a contract with the bank. If I give you, $100, the bank is going to give it back to me whenever I want to, or pay it to whoever I tell them to pay it to if I write a check to that person. Okay, but it's a contract with the bank. Okay, when the depositor dies, then it goes to the depositor's estate, unless the depositor has done a pay on death beneficiary designation with the bank.
And her parents did everything they were supposed to, I know for sure, to make sure that she's protected.
Okay, well, I hope they did. But I'm just telling you how it works, because I want you to understand trust. If you're going to be help dealing with this, and maybe she already knows all this stuff, and she's going to fall asleep during this long speech. If you do, we'll wake you up, so you won't leave you here. But I'm telling you all this so you'll understand it. But then when the people can put the name of the trust on the bank account, just like their own name. And trusts don't die, but the beneficiaries of the trust and the trustees die. Okay, so when originally the beneficiary of the trust is mom and dad who created it. Because they're just putting the trust name on it to avoid probate. Then when they die, one of them is the successor beneficiary and the successor trustee. And then when they die, that office is vacant. Okay, so then whoever is the successor beneficiary should make sure that a successor, whoever is named as the successor trustee, which in this case is her, does the same memorandum of trust saying mom and dad died. I'm now the successor trustee.
Okay. So she needs to
You
make
give it
this
to the
amendment on
bank,
trust.
you record it at the land records, and then you're in office.
Okay. So this hasn't never been done in her part.
I don't know if it's ever been done with you or not.
I'm just first time hearing about it.
Well,
I
needs the
knew that it
memorandum.
had to be done.
She needs that done in her
Shit.
behalf. So, I mean, she's
Never got-
barely
Okay.
finding out, so that's the first step that she
well,
needs
I
to
mean,
take.
it should have been done if it hadn't been done.
No, it hasn't.
But let me finish. I got more to say about it. Okay. That's the successor. There's this, like I say, there's the trustee and there's the beneficiary. When the beneficiaries die, they're not the beneficiaries anymore. The successor beneficiary is named in the instrument, which is you. Okay. The trustees usually, and the trust or the trustors usually retain the power to amend the trust if they want to. Suppose they have a kid die and they want to
Amended.
change the
Put their
beneficiary
kids'
name on the
names
children,
on
or they got a kid that's in prison or on drugs. They don't want him to be
let
an
him
alternate
off.
beneficiary. You know, these are the things that generally happen that cause people to want to change their trust. And it's easy to do because they've retained the power of amendment.